Nigga, we gotta start the podcast.
Oh my God, I'm trying to.
Bro, you do this every single time.
Don't be trying to put that on me. I hate that. Oh my God, let's start the podcast.
What did you slip up in my cup, girl?
It's just that when I drink, sometimes I get a little crazy.
Care to wet your whistle, Marcus?
Can I get a refill?
Oh, it's wine night. I know it's gonna be good.
Turn it up.
Microphone checker, swinging sword lecture, closing the sector, supreme net protector. Better warn him, kid, Mr. Mefsa, ballin' pop, about to blow his lid from the pressure. Too hot for TV, for sheezy. Too many wanna be hard, be easy. It's all in together, going all out together. It don't take much to please me. Still, homes are never satisfied like the Stones. We don't condone biting, see them selling crossbones. Protected what I'm writing. Don't crash with the titan. Who blast with a license to kill rap reciting. Come on, and a nigga with the zone from the group home to Cal. Fuck your lifestyle. Put your lights out. Get the shit to crack and get your feeling with your pipes out. Time for some action. Surfing the avenue. Mad at you. Where I used to battle cool. Back when internet had that attitude. Cover me, I'm going in. God, I'm busting off these pistols. My niggas got issues again. Save song on with the mega bomb. Blow you out the frame, then I'm gone.
Wow, I thought we were just gonna get like a little bit. You gave us a lot.
If you don't know that song, boy. First off, if you don't know that Method Man and Redman is really like
top tier
fire MCs, like you really just don't know. Like
I used to just listen to Method Man for his voice. I ain't gonna hold you.
He had a fight. Like niggas really had that. I feel like that's something that like I don't know. I hate to be that person that's like, oh, you know, oh, shit was better. It was this. I'm not gonna say it was better. I just like to appreciate what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated back like how artists back then had like a unique sound, a flow, a story, like everything like that. Like you name any artist from back then, like I was watching like this podcast and it was talking about how like Nas was like the first like smooth nigga to come out, right? Because everybody was aggressive back then. That was the thing, right? So then you had that. Then you knew with Biggie, you was gonna get like the flow and the big husky voice and everything like that. With that, Jay-Z, yeah, right. Then Jay-Z was gonna give you like that mafioso, like, you know, just shit like that. So it was like everybody had their thing, you know, and it was just dope. Like you really went to a whole nother world with every artist.
I mean, and just like Wu-Tang Clan in general, just being so fucking different.
Word.
I mean, it's hard not to respect the genius, in my opinion.
Like, do you watch that show? Did you watch this? Did you watch it with me?
No, I didn't watch it, but I started it and I immediately knew like this is not one of those things that I could just put on and walk away.
You gotta watch it.
And so I said like, I'm not gonna disrespect these kings this way. Like I'm gonna sit here and actually watch it because I think season 2 is coming or has come.
I don't know, bro. They taking too long. Whatever it's taking too long.
Well, it's a pandemic, so.
And I don't care.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, you said if everybody outside, I want y'all motherfuckers outside.
Somebody need to get to work because, come on now.
I feel that. I understand. Well, I guess I don't have to ask you how you're feeling because you just told me.
Nah, man. Funny enough, I told you before, I feel like shit, but it is what it is. Not the Roni.
Oh.
Aches and pains.
I was about to say, because you can quarantine for 2 weeks if you want to. Can I introduce the podcast now? Like, we all good? We out here?
Please do.
We live 0.5. All right. Hey, Winers. It's the Wine Night podcast. We're so excited to see you again. You know, I'm going to start drinking. I'm going to just have my own wine glass here. You know, wine night. It's the Wine Night podcast. So that's what we have.
Right?
Duh. So, you know, we here just like you would get around with your friends, sit around the table and talk shit, chat shit. That's all we want to do, you know, make it feel like it's home.
And if we can piss at least one person off, then we've succeeded.
Then we have made it, honey.
And if it's a white person, then we really succeeded.
See, I was trying to leave them alone this episode. I feel like every episode I'm like, and racism. And so I was really trying to just let them rock. But you know what? Fuck it.
Looking at the topics, I think we're going to be good for this.
Yeah.
I think, my aftertaste is...
Well, and the Cheeto is also in there too now that I'm looking at it. But, I mean, I don't even think white people like him at this point. So that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I don't know. But hey, like I said, welcome back. It's a new episode of the Wine Night podcast where we sit here and talk shit about everything and anything just like you would with all your other friends. So we your friend now too. How you been this week, Michael?
This week has been good. So if you are following me on Instagram, you see I got my first tat. Niggas just yadded up. Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody fucking with me no more.
Okay.
Niggas thought I was gonna be pussy. Thought I was gonna cry. I was gonna do this, that. I ate that shit.
Who was to hand cry?
There's video, huh?
Who said? Who thought you was gonna cry? Who?
Everybody. Anybody that knew me that was like, oh, Mike gonna be there. He gonna just. I was like, all right, y'all niggas is just haters. I
seen it glisten. I seen it glisten right in the corner.
Tears of joy.
Oh, is that? All right.
Now, I ate, there's video proof of me eating that shit, being, oh, that's not too bad.
I deleted all that shit.
I got it.
Oh, you sent it to yourself?
Hell yeah, fuck.
Damn, I said I ain't deleted.
Niggas gonna talk shit. I know that for sure. Niggas gonna talk shit.
Yeah, because I was about to chat, boy. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But congratulations on your first tat, even though you have 7 brands on you. But hey, we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about the backwards logic.
The only motherfucker that gets branded first before they get a tattoo.
I mean, we all know the male species is just backwards. But it's okay. We're here to save the world. Oh, well, I'm fine. Thanks for asking, co-host. Anywho, my week was great. I also got a tattoo. So, the fuck? Thanks for asking.
Because I didn't care. So, where does that leave us now?
I really want a new co-host. Like, I've been praying. Like,
you put out an application looking for...
put it on my heart to just find somebody else in so many different reasons. So many different reasons.
Nah, how was your week? What's going on?
It was good. I got a tattoo or whatever. It wasn't my first one, but you know, we out here bird life, gang gang.
So we at this tattoo shop, right? And so there's like, who want to go first? So Nia goes, because you know she just got to do everything. She goes, I'm gonna go first, and I said, okay. So
that's how I found it. Okay.
So she goes right. So her tattoo is right behind her ear. So she's laying on the bed thing. And she's over here catching this tattoo and shit. And she's over here like, ooh, looking like Family Guy, like nigga Peter Griffin on the floor and shit. so I'm like, oh nah, this shit really about to hurt. So I'm over here second guessing it, and I'm like, fuck.
Yours is mad fleshy though. Mine's is like right on the skull.
That's what I'm saying. So I was just, oh, wait, hold on. It might just be because it's on the bone. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. Like you really don't know. So I was just like, look. All I gotta do is just get in the chair and that shit hit the first time. And after that, I'm either gonna pass out or I'm gonna finish it.
Just like a man to bring everything back to yourself. So yeah, this was great for me. I had a really great time getting my third tattoo. I also got to eat like a bunch of great food this weekend. Nothing makes me happier than like eating everything that I don't eat during the week. So, like, you know, fried food.
What you had this weekend?
You so happened?
What you had this weekend?
We ain't got time for all that. Listen, just know that it was fucking amazing. You know, the Wine Night podcast is about to come out with like its own, you know, like review.
Culinary review?
yeah, we out here. What fried hot dog matches with this red wine the best? That's what we about to get into, okay? All right, well, I'm happy that we both had a great week. It was amazing. Whew, speaking of wine. Are you ready for the grapevine?
Am I ready or am I ready?
Are you ready for the grapevine?
Nah, you asking.
Cause how much longer would you be mine? Intro.
Oh, Lord. I said.
And now it's time for with NiaBia.
Is that a song I'm supposed to know?
You said what?
Was that a song I'm supposed to know?
Sir, we talked about this the first time. Oh Jesus.
What?
We talked about Marvin Gaye and Gladys Knight having their own versions of Heard It Through the...
Oh, that was part of Heard It Through the Grapevine. Okay.
Wow.
All right, well, let's start the section.
I don't even know what to do. Okay, so speaking of Gladys Knight versus Patti LaBelle. Everybody had their... what's that shit called? They had their pound cakes. They had their sweet potato pies out. Speaking of haddock, I'm sure there was some on the table, some fried chicken, some mac and cheese. You know, everybody pulled out the stops to watch them. I heard somebody make the joke that they had to have the verses at 5 p.m. so that they would be asleep by the time. they had to do their verses.
Listen,
And I was honestly just here for really.
whenever I think of them, all I can think about is like older black women. You remember how women used to go to church with them wide ass hats with the veil over it?
Yep, that's basically what was happening. So it was a celebration of black women. Again, it was amazing. I loved it. All I did was sit there and sing some more and hit all the notes. Well,
What was
badly hit all the notes, but I still hit them. It was very fun. I hope everybody out there enjoyed the celebration, because at this point, it can't be a battle. Like, what they gonna do? Take off the 1-inch hill?
Where they definitely used to have that 1-inch motherfucking.
I mean, these women are like 60 something, but they looked good. I know you didn't see it because you know you're not American black, but they look fucking great. I don't know about you, but one of them, I think, was Patty, got up and started dancing. I said, go on, Patty, tell them, show them. Black don't crack, honey. Listen, she might have to ice them knees later, but the black don't crack. They look good. They look very good. So
Okay.
I just wanted to start out with, the celebration of black music. I would love to see them do like mixed gendered verses. They had one where it was like Alicia Keys and John Legend, but I ain't gonna hold you, I didn't watch it because I wasn't very interested in seeing them go head to head. I didn't think it was a good matchup, but I would love to see them start to, switch the gingers up a little bit. So
Yeah, I think that is true. I think we naturally start to like, pair people by gender and shit like that. And I have to think about it, but there's some people that you could definitely you put Nicki up against any Queens artist, they're gonna have a hard time. So
that's a fact and a half.
shit, any New York artist, they're gonna have a hard time.
You said Nicki, right? Like,
Yeah, you put any New York artist, they're gonna
first
have a
of
hard
all, you could put Nicki against any artist, especially early Nicki. She's bodying a lot of you motherfuckers. Like, I ain't gonna hold
we
you.
ain't making that conversation though.
We're really not. I really hope that, Nicki's in a happy place right now. She's pregnant. She's married.
Pregnant?
Like,
She's married?
sir, what? Where have you been? That's why we needed her to through the grapevine, because you ain't heard nothing. Your grapevine is kaput. There's nothing there. It's dry. It's just dry. Yes, she is married and she has a husband, and she's pregnant. I don't know when she's due, but she looked like she was ready to pop last month when she made her announcement. So, but she ain't on our grapevine list today, so we got other things to do. So Tory Lanez allegedly reached out to Megan Thee Stallion, saying that he was just a little too drunk, and that is, I guess, one of the reasons why he shot her, or allegedly shot her. Also today it came out that the argument that started the shootout, the summertime shootout, was because Megan found out that not only did he sleep with her, but he slept with her best friend.
Tory Lanez slept with Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah, apparently that was the rumor, that they were like dating and then something happened. Excuse me, listeners, if you can hear my dog in the background. No couth. He has no couth. Anyway, yeah, that was the rumor, that they were dating. Something happened and it turned sour.
Hold on. Megan
Thee Stallion, she just gives all these motherfuckers hope, because Tory Lanez has to be all of 5'2".
That's what I was thinking.
Megan Thee Stallion has to be about 5'9".
No heels.
Exactly. So when she said she was riding that, she meant that shit. Like, she meant that shit. Like, she's probably throwing that motherfucker up in the air and landing him all kinds of wild ways.
That's crazy.
Yeah, allegedly that he slept with both the best friend, and I don't know why I just grabbed my boob like that. Both the best friend and Megan Thee Stallion. And honestly, the first thing that popped into my mind was, why was she not the one busting shots then? Like, if anything, I would, why did he get mad and start shooting? I would have been the one in there deciding that it was time to, get this shit rocking. But I mean, to each his own. She grown ass woman. And I guess we've all been there with that one guy that was a little smaller technically than us. It's all right. It's all right. We all been there, sis. Not me though, because I'm mad short. So if you're smaller than me, we got problems. 5'2" gang. Any thoughts?
I feel like you're at least 5'3". I don't think you don't give yourself.
I'm definitely 5'1.5" technically.
There's no way, bro. There's no way.
I'm very, very Very sure.
You at least.
No.
At least.
I'm not. And they keep taking it. They keep trying it too. One time I tried to go in there with my puffy wig on, and Shorty was like, "Nope." She flattened the shit out of my hair and was like, "Where you at? Take that shit off your head." Yeah, still 5'1" and a half. And a half though. Don't take my shit away. And 5'2" on my driver's license. So.
You can't believe nothing that, before we move on, you can't believe nothing that niggas say on driver's license. There's people I know that cannot see, and their driver's license does not say they need to wear glasses.
Well, listen, it's because at least they know the big thing, the objects, how to move them out of the way. So it's like, if you can move out of that way, then hey, you deserve it. If old people can be on the road, then so can the young people who can't see. Equity, no.
Enough. Yeah, enough.
So what'd you think? You didn't tell me what you thought about Tory Lanez and
Oh no, I ain't talking about nobody that potentially got shot or no street shit.
that ain't no street shit. I mean, I guess like it's, I don't know, is it street shit? Does that count as street shit? He's not.
He got shot. I don't know who, but I ain't commenting.
All right. Well, okay. Well, my condolences to Megan Thee Stallion and her foot, since that's where she got shot.
And her best, and I'll talk about how is it that women keep finding out that niggas keep fucking their best friends? Like how y'all talk about men don't talk, but here we go.
I don't know. Maybe I think that Megan has spoken about her openness to people, right? Like, so I don't know if that was just one of those things where she was open to this person and she was like, this is my best friend. You know, sometimes it feels like kindred spirit type things going on. But I hope that her circle gets smaller, right? And I hope that it has more quality versus quantity, if this is true, because this is all alleged. And we know how blogs can be, you know, they kind of get out of control. So I'm hoping that her circle becomes more tight so that she can trust the people that are in there. Because let me tell you something, you're no friend of mine if you decide you are going to fuck the person that I am also fucking. That was very candid, but it is what it is. So I hope the best for all of them. Tory Lanez should at least minimum probably get deported, but hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Is it really deported if you like just walking across the street?
I mean, I guess for him, yeah, because the U.S. would, I guess, would be the moneymaker. You would want to tour in all these other places, right? That's where they get most of their money. So like, unless you make everybody legit get a passport. He's not dead ass. But unless you make everybody get like a passport and travel to Canada, which I'm not doing because it's colder in Canada than it is here. And I'm not going to go see Tory Lanez now because he shot somebody. But, you know, if he can shoot her, then she bigger than him. He'll shoot me too. So you're right. Let's move on because he out here busting guns. I don't need that shit. All right. So some good news. Charlemagne the God has officially launched the Black Effect Podcast Network, and he is collaborating with iHeartRadio. So that's something that's really dope. You know, shout out to him and all the Black people that he'll be helping.
I think that, so is it like, okay, so I'm going to just assume that like, you said it's a podcast network or it's a podcast?
No, so it's a podcast network. So he's in collaboration with iHeart. I'm guessing like all the Black podcasts will be like in this one space, and I could be reporting this completely wrong because I wasn't sure myself when I was reading it. Like I didn't understand. I'm like, okay, so they're gonna take all their podcasts and move it, or they're creating new content and it'll be under that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm hoping that it is on the creative side where they're allowing people to come in and, you know, start these different podcasts. But I guess we'll see when it comes out, huh?
I guess the one thing I'll say for like the sake of time is just, don't get me wrong, racism is a real thing. White people are the devils incarnate, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But also recognizing that the issue isn't only just race, it's also the structure. Labels, all that kind of stuff is bad business for the creators. So why am I supposed to think that being a part of this is going to be any different than being part of Spotify. At the end of the day, the reason why you create this thing is so that you can profit. Unless you're creating a free platform for them and you're solely helping them, why am I supposed to believe that this is not going to eventually end up the same as Jay-Z and Rockefeller with Dame Dash and Beanie and all them, the same as Lil Wayne at Cash Money, the same as whoever the fuck was at No Limit, whoever the fuck was at Suge Knight shit, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, bureaucracies in self are problematic and they don't end well. So again, I hope that this is a good thing. You know, people, and I can't even say like, you know, I hope he has good intentions, because people start with good intentions, but just the nature of these styles of organization lead to taking advantage of people, and just the person at the top making the most and the people at the bottom making the least. So I don't know.
I'm hoping that he has his hand in it to the point where he'd be like mentoring these people, you know, these podcasts, and they're helping them grow, like at least providing them with a team that will like help them grow, like you said, so they're not being taken advantage of. Because there are 1,000 like Black podcasts that I'm sure would appreciate having some type of guidance, right? Having some type of, you know, mentorship, so that they can get to, I guess, the pinnacle of whatever they believe is success. And so if that isn't kind of what you're doing, then I don't, not to say I don't support it. I just guess it's not necessarily for me, because I would love to hear a lot of these podcasts, you know, come out of the gate very polished and put together, like podcasts like us, where we have to literally figure out every single stumble and, you know, roadblock and, you know, figure this stuff out on our own. I think having somebody like Charlamagne, who's been in the business 20-something years at this point, will be able to guide them and kind of help them out. So fingers are crossed, but shout out to the Black Effect Podcast Network. That's a lot. They should have probably thought of a different name. Maybe they should just take off Podcast Network. But hey, whatever. What do I know? They didn't hire me.
I'm not going to say shout out yet. I'm going to just say I'll see.
We shall. Okay. Do you want to talk about All Buildings Matter, or would you like to talk about the Chiefs for our last little piece of the grapevine?
You said All Buildings Matter, or what?
Or the Kansas City Chiefs.
I would say the Chiefs.
Okay. So over the last few days, I can't remember what day they played, but the Kansas City Chiefs had a game. It doesn't really matter who they were playing. So for all you people who watch football, that's not necessarily the part I'm talking about. So you can skip right on past this. But the part I did want to talk about was their moment of silence for racial injustice. And the people who were allowed in the crowd decided that they were going to boo. And not just boo, but boo loudly, very audibly. We're all 17 people in the crowd heard on camera booing during this matter of silence, or this, you know, time of silence for racial injustice and the people who have passed away, or excuse me, they didn't pass away, the people who've been murdered due to racial injustice. So I thought that this was extremely interesting because a lot of people said, like, no, don't kneel. That's disrespecting the flag and disrespecting our country. And they said, no, don't protest in the street either, because you know, that's not right either. You're disturbing everybody. So they found a way to, I guess, try to incorporate it, you know, the least controversial. And yet people still had a problem about it. So I'm wondering if it's the thing that's being protested that's the problem, like the Black people and the injustice and all that other stuff, or is it just your races? I don't know.
But those people, what did event staff do about those people?
What do you mean they let them watch the game?
Oh, so that's everything I need to know.
Like nobody got kicked out, and like this was like like I said, an audible boo. So there weren't many people, if any, in the stands at all, in the crowd at all. However, they were
identifiable.
Yes, very much so. Because you pan and there's like 1,000 empty seats, and then there's like maybe a person here, maybe 2 or 3 people here, you know, like that in the crowd. And they were able to boo, and they played it over, you know, on TV or national television. So these people are up there and they're standing for something, and you are basically saying that we value your body and what you're able to entertain us with, right? But we do not value the things that you value. We don't value you as a person. We don't value your beliefs. We don't care about any of the stuff that you're talking about. We just kind of want you to throw this ball. And that really kind of stuck out to me, and it really hurt my feelings because people made such a fuss about this flag, about Kaepernick and all these other things, about protesting, especially within the last few months. And the NFL found a way to try and do it as peaceful and integrate it as peaceful as possible, and yet people are still upset. So it leads me to believe that you are just racist and you have a problem with Black people and people of color sticking up for themselves versus, you know, the way that they're sticking up for themselves, which is inherently racist as well. So that was a lot, but.
Nah, all of that. And what did you expect from the NFL? And anything?
Well, do we blame the NFL or do we blame the people in the stands? Or is it hand in hand?
I think it's hand in hand because, one, the NFL fosters that environment by letting those people think that's okay because you've never done anything about it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, it's don't give me the we couldn't tell who it was because, again, there was nobody there. And that's why I asked, what did event staff do about it? Because if you ain't do anything, that lets me know, oh, you welcome this behavior. And don't give me a statement. Don't give me a commercial. Give me action.
Right.
That's
yeah. Well, there you go. Then that's the grapevine, honey. I done filled all your cups. So y'all gonna have to just come back next week if when you run out. I'm sorry. I had a lot more topics, but you know, we can save it for next week. I don't think they're going anywhere. Are you going anywhere?
Not unless they come get me.
Oh, well, there you go.
But appreciate you, co-host. Appreciate you.
You know, I'm just here to serve, you know, I'm just here to enlighten the world.
But with any good wine or any good drink, you know, sometimes there's an aftertaste. And
that was cute or whatever. That was cute or whatever.
And here we are. Here we are.
All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Hey, yo, listen to MikeyBarxxx
Not the aftertaste.
on the Wine Night Podcast.
So, we both work in I like to call them service roles, civil service roles, things like that. Not limited to just like police officer. You know, typically that's how we define civil service. But I like to say service roles, anything that's meant to quote unquote help people, right?
Right.
Specifically, we're more involved with like education and things like that. And my rant for today is I would like for people, teachers, advisors, I would just like for this whole idea that we can help people in these roles to go away. Like stop selling that dream. And there's like a few like bullet points. First off, stop telling people of color to go into careers to help people of color, when people of color are not the reason why people of color need help.
Oh, I thought this was a short episode.
And that's why I was like, I really think you move this to the law because it's gonna.
Oh man, okay, let's go then. Let's do it.
It's like, so don't tell me like, oh, go work in inner city public schools and help inner city people of color, students of color, you know, through those issues, when I'm not the reason that they've been redlined. I'm not the reason why they have, you know, bad textbooks or, you know what I mean, mean teachers that are just racially insensitive or just assholes, for lack of a better term. That's not my fault. And then also, what can I do for them? The issue is out of my, and that's why I also get to that point of stop telling people that you're the helper. And I think it also gets to my second point about like, how do you define help? Are you the help? Because help for a privileged person and help for a marginalized person is completely different, right? Help for a privileged person is just like, you know, I helped you pick a major. That's what they need, right? They need someone to help them, like, you know, find their way through campus or, you know, find which sport did you want to play in high school, whatever the case may be, right? What marginalized people need is for someone to figure out who's writing all the racist graffiti on campuses. What they need is for someone to get the campus police to stop disproportionately breaking up the black students' parties or black student events and things like that, and leaving the white fraternities and sororities to just do whatever the fuck they want on their houses and their lawns and stuff like that. What we need is houses and spaces for people of color so that they can congregate on their own, right? So for me, it's like, stop telling us that we can help. Well, we're not really helping. We're just putting Band-Aids on problems. The help happens at the political level. Help happens with law, people who are actually decision makers and stuff like that. But we're never pushed to do that. We're never taught to do that. We're never taught to become CEOs. We're taught to go to HR so we can help. No, the problem is the fucking homophobic CEO at the top. HR is just helping you get through. I'm sorry that this is happening, but here are your resources. Stop telling us to do that. That's not our problem to fix. Maybe
No, and I think it's tough because it's like, all right, well, if we don't go into those roles, then those same people are gonna go into those roles, right? Like the racist person will walk in there and they'll be the ones that are serving our people, and that is violent inherently within itself, right? So it's like, if we don't do it, then who will do it? But then we're stuck in these roles, and like you said, we don't think about going and being, well, no, I would say there's probably a shift now. There's a lot of like Black entrepreneurism. You'll see, I've seen a huge shift towards it within the last couple of years.
What, can I say something to that point? Please don't forget your thought.
No, wait, because I'm gonna forget it.
All right, back, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, like, I think it's like a catch-22. If we don't, who will? But then when we do, they move, they get to move up in ranks and become, these big, high-powered people. And then we're stuck trying to figure everything out. And so I think overall, it's just a tough thing. So go ahead.
Yeah, and to that point right there, it's like, you're right. Because if I don't work as the teacher, then my students don't see Black teachers. You know what I mean? Or if I don't work as the nurse, then who's actually in the hospital giving that Black woman in labor help? You know what I mean? So it's like, one thing, we just need more. We need more of us in those roles, and we need to make sure that we have more access. But again, access is determined at the political level. I mean, the decision makers, the lawmakers, things like that. To go back to what you were saying, like, we're starting to see more Black people or people of color with the entrepreneurial spirit, but that's not happening in the college setting and stuff like that. That's happening because we go on our phones and we're educating each other, right? So that's what I'm getting at. It's like, we're realizing, oh, we're starting to catch up on our own. Like, oh, okay, we've been getting funneled into the wrong places. We've been getting funneled into the wrong majors. We've been getting, I can't think of the word right now when you make student athletes go into specific majors just because they get
a business major and they got a business bone in their body.
Even that liberal arts, the fuck is they supposed to do? The niggas is not going to get PhDs, bro. Why are you making them study liberal? Not to say that they can't, but nothing about them has made them say that they're going to go into academia. So why are you funneling them into something that's only academic, right? Mm-hmm. And you even know about these, and it also is being real with people, like people of color. If someone's coming from a lower SES status, don't tell them to go into a role and not explain to them, like, hey, your outlook as far as how much you make, does that line up with why you're here? If you're here to provide for your family and to build generational wealth and to potentially make a certain amount of money, don't tell that person to go into like, well, we're going to like social work or something. Not to say that those are not needed professions, but the way the system is set up right now, you're not going to get a very good return on your investment immediately or for a while.
But what I will say is that I think people of color, especially Black people, are taught to be more empathetic and taught to be more caring and taught to think of your neighbor. Like, even if you think of raising kids and they say it takes a village, right? Like, it takes your neighborhood, like everybody in the neighborhood, at least back when I was younger, they was watching out for you, they was your other aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpa. Like, everybody was taught to take care of each other, because if we don't, again, who's going to do that? And so I think that it has, I don't want to say warped our sense of like what we should do, but it definitely, I think, has an effect on how people have seen themselves, like in the future, career-wise, like how they feel, you know, how they measure success, like how far they think they can go. You know what I mean? I was watching this one video and this boy was talking about how he wanted to help people. So he wanted to be, I think, like a teacher or something of that nature. And the older black man in the video said like, oh, but if you're president, then you get to help everybody. And he just kind of like stopped the little boy, and you could tell he was very puzzled and confused. And so he was like, I never thought of that before. And the man said like, nobody told you can ever be president. And he was just like, no.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I know the top like 3 answers for Black people, and when they think of success, is like be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer. And so we don't think of all these other jobs that would put us in positions to be able to help people that also align with our interests. Because like not everybody wants to be a doctor, not everybody wants to be an engineer or a lawyer. Shit, not everybody want to be a teacher and all these other things. But we don't know a lot of the possibilities that come with a lot of the things that we care about. And I don't think that's any detriment to ourselves. I think it just kind of is how we've always had to take care of ourselves, and we continue to take care of ourselves for our own survival. Because again, if somebody who's racist steps into that, nobody's getting taken care of now.
That's a fact. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, I really would appreciate it if people would stop selling that dream, especially if you're gonna bring us on your campus or your school to fit your quota. Make sure that you actually know who you're bringing and how to support them, and make sure you take care of them.
That's big facts, sir. Big facts. I'm here for it.
Yeah, you know how I always equate it. It's like a white person adopting a Black kid, and you don't know how to moisturize their skin, you don't know how to comb their hair.
Cut it out right now.
That's essentially what it is when they bring Black kids to a fucking white school. Well, you brought them here. Well, you recruited them, but can you retain them? You know what I mean?
I don't really care. Again, it kind of goes back into that thing I was talking about with the NFL. It's like we're going to start to realize, right? And hopefully we start to recognize that it's the money that they are offering is not worth our soul, in terms of that they just want us to perform. And I don't think that is enough for all that we have sacrificed and continue to sacrifice for this country, in the name of this country, and in the name of, you know, being a citizen here. Or even if they're not a citizen here, there's still sacrifices that everybody has made in order, you know, for the sake of this country. And I just think, and I hope that we get to a point where we say, like, your blood money is not enough. You know what I mean? Like, you won't silence me just because you pay me a lot of money, or you won't silence me because you don't pay me a lot of money. Like, I'm still worth, you know, those things, but we have to get ourselves to that point, and we also have to get, you know, the people in positions of power to understand that we're not just bodies for you to discard when you're done with. So
that's a fact.
Ooh, Chile, you got kind of deep.
We interrupt this program to bring you
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Are you sure about that?
Older the berry, the sweeter the juice.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
How black is your berry?
Oh, no. Well, okay. So I have a quick berry. Quick berry. Quick berry. Like, I'm going to pop the berry and that sounds kind of nasty. I just want to, and this person, we have questioned how much their berry, like how black their berry has been a long time. Because I had one that I thought would be really good to talk about. But because today is our like shorter episode, I didn't want to jump into it. I want to save that one. I'm going to go to this other rant that I have, okay? Because of the person that I am and the people that I know, and when I know that they believe, right? And so I'm sorry if my listeners, you're not Christian or you're not faith-filled, you're spiritual, whatever. What I need Kanye to do is stop talking as if he is a prophet, as if he is a deity, as if he is God, as if he is anybody like anywhere near relatable to the Bible. I need him to stop doing that. It kills me. Black people don't play like that. I don't play like that. You're not going to use my God's name in vain. You're not going to use the people that's in the Bible's name in vain. If for people who don't know what I'm talking about, yesterday this man decided he was going to call himself Moses because he demanded whatever he's demanding from white people that he signed contracts with. That's his business, right? But what you got to stop doing, he like told everybody, like, I want out of my contract, Sony and Universal, they screwed me. Wipes my tears with my millions. They screwed me. He said, I'm trying to get us all out of here. I'm Moses. And that's where I had to stop. Because at first it was very entertaining. I think Kanye needs help, but if his friends don't and family don't get him help, then me being this lonely person all the way in New York, I won't be able to convince him to get help. So we've passed that, right? But what I really need him to do is stop referring to himself as biblical people, especially God. He has definitely said that more than once. And it really irks the shit out of me. Because he thinks that he's leading people, but all he's doing is looking for his own financial freedom. And so you can't tell me things like that and refer to all of these, at least very prominent figures that we hold very near and dear to our hearts. And I would say that if he was talking about anybody's religion or anything that they follow, I don't think that it's right. And I think we just gotta tear down like celebrityism. I don't even think that's a word, but the idea of celebrity probably needs to get burned to the ground. And so for this, I am taking away Kanye's like black berry. Like he's not, the berry is very translucent. It's very translucent. I gotta get like what's it called? Like a scale, and it's gonna just be like how black each berry is. So it'll be like a raspberry, which like bad for wine. You don't want that, right? And then the like last one would be like that real black grape berry that like red wine comes from. Like that's where we're trying to get all black people on. I need your berry to be that black, real strong. Like that's the berry you throw at somebody and it pops off your head like like one of them strong raisins, okay? And then there's like a real bright, I don't know what they make that fake
that light green grape.
What'd you say?
The light green grape.
Yeah, like that's bad. That's where Kanye's at. If you strip the green part away, you know how translucent it is. That's what. So I need him to stop doing that. I have effectively right now, his berry is no longer black. It hasn't been black for a very long time. But what he needs to stop doing is playing around with Jesus and talking about he's doing all this stuff for God smite him for real. All right, I'm done. I'm finished.
Well, that's it for me. I agree. So
I'm moving on then.
Wind down.
All right, so what you trying to chat about next?
Yo, we should talk about this.
I mean, it is time for the wind down.
That's cool, but after that, I need some advice.
Let's wind down with the Wine Night Podcast.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Wrap it up then.
Huh?
Wrap it up then.
Wrap it up then. Let's wind down. Do you not remember that?
No.
You don't remember how to do it? It's like you dead ass?
No clue what you're talking about.
Wow, I don't even know what the name of it is, but we had to do it in gyms sometimes. It was like this real stupid dance to get people moving. It was on Jimmy Neutron. You didn't watch Jimmy Neutron?
I did.
You don't remember the movie where they was doing the little chicken dance and then all the parents got kidnapped and shit? And when they found them, they was doing like this weird ass like, wow, where's your childhood? My God. Okay. I don't have a wind down this week. I don't have one. I don't have anything.
It's supposed to be our shorter episode anyway, so shit.
It is, but we have to literally wind down. It's time for the wind down. Oh, okay, actually, you know what? Let's have our wind down be something a little controversial. So a lot of people talked about like Black Lives Matter, right? And they talked about like how important it is to not say like wine, or I said wine, all lives matter, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And so 9/11 just passed a couple of days ago. And so a lot of people decided to hashtag all buildings matter to try and get some people who are part of all lives matter to understand how controversial their stance is. For a lot of people, it didn't really work. But for a lot of people, it did. But I kind of wanted to see like how you felt about that, being that it is such a like sensitive topic. People lost their lives, but some people thought that it was a really great learning tool. What do you think?
Um, I I think it was in the right place. I mean, what's the difference between the two? Both. I mean, white people killing black people in the street are terrorists. So what's the difference?
I think some people just felt as if because this was such a humongous, like monumental moment, that it wasn't right to tarnish that with something as sarcastic as all buildings matter, right? But then some people also had the idea that uh, how else do we reach you if not through things that matter to you the most, right? So there are some people who regard like 9/11 to be one of the worst things that has happened that they have been a part of, right? But there were a lot of black people and people of color that said like, hey, when you kill us in the street, we have to relive this every single day. Like we have more black people and people of color who are dying by the hands of police than we did in that one terrorist attack. Like racism kills more people exponentially more than what happened the day of 9/11 so many years ago. So a lot of people just had a lot to say. I know my friend groups have talked about it a lot. So I wanted to know if your friend groups got a hold of it and like what you thought about that.
No, like we didn't really talk about it. I only heard about it through you. But what I will say is just like those buildings being hit and coming down and everything like that, and how it, rocked my city and everything like that, still doesn't compare to 400 years of enslavement and constant disenfranchisement and all those things like that. And the only reason I'm comparing those two is because people still just don't get it, and we have to get to that point now where we got to hit you where it hurts, and you just don't get it. It don't matter how we explain it to you. You don't get it. So you know what? If you're gonna hurt us, then we have to just start hurting you until you get it. And I'm all for an eye for an eye. I'm all for doing whatever it takes. Because at this point, like we aren't seen as human. We aren't seen as, being we aren't respected. So I have no need or desire to respect anybody else. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to make sure you get it.
Yeah, I guess that's like one of those things where it's like by any means necessary, right? Like if you can downplay our stuff, then I guess we can downplay yours too. I felt the weight of both of them, right? Like I know you don't think I'm a New Yorker, but I am from New York, and I remember being very terrified like that day because it's like, are they only going to hit this one place? Are they going to hit multiple places? Like what's happening? Like, are we going to be under attack forever? Is this a new war? Like, I was very young, so my mind, traveled to the most extremes, but also my mind travels to the most extremes every day, just being Black. If I ride past a police officer, are you going to stop me? If you do stop me, am I going to die because of something as small as like a traffic turn? RIP to Sandra Bland. Are you going to pull me over and choke me out on the street? RIP to George Floyd. Are you going to, is anybody that just thinks that I'm intimidating going to run up on me and take my life? Like RIP to Trayvon Martin. So it's just one of those things that I felt very heavy about because people's lives are being lost. And it kind of sucks that Black Lives Matter has to be something political. But I also understand that if this is the only way we can reach a lot of people, I guess you got to take the victory with some bruises. But okay. All right. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Yeah,
that's all I got. Yeah. I think it was good. Short, compact episode.
All right. Well, if you made it to this point, one of two things has happened. You listen to the whole thing, and we're thankful for you tuning in. Or two, you're not really listening. This is just background noise for you. So if it's the first, please remember to like, subscribe, share our content with at least one person you know this week who needs a glass of wine and some good conversation. Also, check us out on Instagram at the Wine Night Pod. And if it's the second, well, we always say, still like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? And thank you for the stream. Peace and love, y'all.
Facts. Bye, y'all. Bye, Wayne.